Good morning, everyone. We hope that we're finding everyone safe and in good health. So my name is Colleen Fillmore, and I am the Idaho State Department of Education Child Nutrition Director. And on the webinar here, we have our entire CNP staff to answer any questions you have in running the child nutrition programs. So we would like to thank again everyone for your hard work. You can see the great pictures that we are receiving. Jessica in our office has put this PowerPoint together, and we would love to continue to be getting pictures from all of you. We're adding them in, and we'll share with everyone on the weekly webinars the pictures that we are getting. You're just wonderful. I mean, this is making our hearts jump with joy to see these pictures. So thank you so much for sharing them. And if it looks like we missed any, please resend them, because we feel that we've gotten everyone added in that we have received. So for today, our agenda is that I will be doing a short introduction, just an update as to what is going on, and then Linda will be talking about some NSLP tasks and topics. Then Dominique will talk about some summer food along with Mary Ann. TJ will talk about Farmers to Families Food Box, and then we will get started on the Q&As or the questions that we're having. We see some really good questions that have been submitted already, so thank you for that. So for a short update as to what is going on, as we all know, USDA, things are just changing. Golly, we won't even say daily, we'll say hourly. We continue to get updates and different information from USDA all the time. So one thing that we did put on this webinar is a handout that we have titled Resources and Grants. It actually is the same document that we had last week as a handout, but we have added some information to that. One in particular is a No Kid Hungry menu planning for non-congregate meal webinar, and that is Tuesday, May 19th. It's free of charge. And it would be noon our time, which I realize some of you will probably be busy serving, but my understanding is that also is going to be archived. And so on our handout, we have provided the link, so you can go ahead and just click into that link and register for that. The other thing is we have gotten several questions on what do we do after June 30th? Because June 30th is when our non-congregate waiver expires. We in the Idaho State Department of Education have submitted an extension for both the non-area eligible waiver and the non-congregate waiver. We have yet to hear back from USDA. Excuse me, but we are very, very hopeful those will get extended. We promise the second we hear, we will let everyone know, but as of right now, the congregate waiver does expire at the end of June. Hopefully that will get extended. As a friendly reminder, always make sure that you go to the governor's website for the updated Q&As from Child Nutrition. We update the questions as we receive them. After every webinar that we have, we get together as a team, we answer those, and we typically always have those submitted back up on the governor's website by the close of business on Friday. And then also, as you know, because you're on this webinar, we are continuing to have our Thursday webinars from 8:45 to 9:45. And all the webinars are also archived under the governor's website under the webinar section. And lastly, before I turn it over, Linda ran the direct cert numbers again. I believe she ran this a day or two ago, so it might even be a little bit higher, but we have seen an 11% increase in direct certification numbers since the beginning of January. And so we can see how this is affecting everyone. Another reason that we did apply for an extension on the area eligible waiver. So that is all I have for right now. So I will hand it over to Linda. Linda, do you want to go ahead and take the screen?
Sure, thanks, Colleen. I can't talk and chew gum at the same time. There we go. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. I just wanted to put out a reminder that those of you who asked or submitted the request form for on-site monitoring waiver, there's still a requirement to conduct some monitoring. So it's sort of like your February 1st, and I'll call it the point of service monitoring because that's what I've always called it. I'm sure it's called something else now. Like your February 1st monitoring requirement, you are also required to monitor to the maximum extent practicable. You are to continue monitoring your SSO program as well. So if you did not complete a waiver, you have to do an on-site review on-site. If you did complete a waiver, you can do the review off-site. And the state agency under the COVID-19 materials has a sample review form that sponsors can use to monitor their programs off-site. However, I will say this is for regular seamless summer operation monitoring, so some of the questions are not applicable during the pandemic, but I just want you to do the best you can with it and just have something that when we come and do a review on you, we can see that you've done monitoring for your seamless summer option. The next thing I have on the screen is we have had questions asked about re-entering normal school or COVID school next year, and if we have any guidance or recommendations for this, so physical distancing, sanitary measures, cleaning, number of children in the lunchroom. And we tell everybody to follow either your local health department guidance or CDC recommendations. Now, the CDC recommendations were just updated last Thursday, April 30th, and you can find more information on their webpage. They are very thorough in, they have a page for school food, school nutrition professionals on cleaning, and you guys have cleaning down pat. They also have recommendations for distancing. I'm not sure that they're practical, but if you want to read them over, that would be a very good start for a plan for next year. And now for some, I say exciting news. Renewal process is going to open up tomorrow because we've had a number of people chomping at the bit to start renewal. So we've got some updated renewal forms. We are finalizing the new renewal instructions because we have some updated processes in the snack area. So we have to give you detailed instructions on those. But I'm also going to give you a gentle reminder to complete your summer food packet first because you're operating that now. This is one of the most important because you're operating, and I'll let you talk to Dominique about the application process. So thank you for everything you're doing. I love all of your pictures that you send to us. You make me proud. Thank you. Dominique?
Thanks. Thank you, Linda. Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to do a quick follow-up on Linda's announcement about NSLP program renewal and to remind you to please, if you are currently operating the summer food program, the application packets need to be approved before you can submit the claims and, more importantly, receive reimbursement for the meals that you've been serving in March and April under the unanticipated school closure waivers. I know many sponsors submit their packets, and then you're all extremely busy. So it's a reminder just to check the status of your packet in My Idaho CNC. And if it has been returned for corrections, please review the notes in the application packet center notes for any changes that are needed. And if you have questions, contact the state agency. Call us. We want to help you get through this so you can get those things up and going and receive some reimbursement. So we're here to help, and thank you all for everything that you're doing and have been doing during this. And with that, I will turn it over to Mary Ann. Thank you.
Thanks, Dominique. Good morning, everyone. This is Mary Ann. Really ditto to what Linda and Dominique had said. Thank you guys so much for everything you've been doing, especially since the whole COVID-19 started. We really appreciate all of your dedication and hard work. I wanted to just provide a quick update regarding the summer food service program reviews this summer. We got a little bit more clarification on that late yesterday afternoon from a webinar with Western Region. So we wanted to provide just a quick update to you all. To ensure we are operating under the COVID-19 Child Nutrition Response Number 11, which is the nationwide waiver of on-site monitoring requirements for state agencies in the Summer Food Service Program, the state agency has decided that instead of conducting the summer reviews in a face-to-face format, this summer we will be doing it as a desk review. This means that sponsors who are scheduled for a review this summer will receive an email from us to complete a survey questionnaire. More information will be provided regarding this desk review, so please keep an eye out for the broadcast email pertaining to this topic in the next week or two. And as always, if you guys have any questions at all, or if you need any assistance, please don't hesitate to contact us here at the state agency. So again, thank you guys so much for all of your hard work, and I'm going to turn it over to Ms. TJ.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Marianne. And just to mirror and let everyone know how much we appreciate everything you do. While I'm sitting here looking at these pictures rotating through, it really does make me proud to be where I'm at in my life and being able to support the needs of people whose passions are feeding individuals. And I can't say enough about how much I miss being part of your lives. So everyone stay safe. I did want to touch just a little bit today on the Farmers to Families Food Box program. Last week, we mentioned that on our webinar, and clearly we generated lots of excitement and enthusiasm. We immediately started receiving emails and calls so that people could get more information about it. And that just goes to show that feeding people is your passion, and we know that. So essentially, I just wanted to circle back around and re-explain the program so everyone knows where we're at. Last week, the idea was that Northwest Distribution was hoping to get an email out to generate some sort of a survey response to see where interest lies. But after our webinar, they received as much feedback as we did, and we shared that feedback. So they have essentially already submitted their proposals. So the way this program works is it's a USDA program that is funding about $3 billion worth of procurement for product that is intended to go out via a local distributor who receives a contract to help shore up the feeding in communities. And so Northwest actually did submit their proposal. It was due last week, and so they were under the gun to get that done. And directly from Lori McCluskey, she wanted me to let you all know that they're awaiting confirmation on their proposal to see if they're awarded. And then should they be awarded the contract, they intend to reach out and communicate directly to schools, because you guys are already a distribution point, and so they want to make sure to facilitate movement of those food boxes throughout your communities.
They'll contact you all individually and find out quantities of boxes needed, communicate what type of shipment options are available, and then let you know what types of products will be available in those boxes. But USDA was really clear on their request for proposal that it was really up to each distributor to define their plan. They didn't want to constrict it to the point that it would limit success of the program. So we're just waiting to hear more, but we appreciate the enthusiasm and certainly will keep all of you in the loop as we hear more, but do be prepared to start communicating with Northwest should they receive the contract. So hopefully that answers a few questions for everybody. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn the time back over now to Colleen so that we can start our questions and answer period. Thanks again, everyone.
Okay, thank you, team. So first question, our district is trying to view the big picture. We are currently operating under seamless summer. How does the big picture look when June 30th approaches and the seamless summer waiver has ended? Can we bring on the food box program to feed our families at that time? So this question came in actually right at the very beginning of the webinar. I think we maybe answered this already, but does TJ or anyone have more that they would like to add to this?
No,
okay, I think we did cover it too. So just a little bit, you know, as kind of just a reminder, the Idaho State Department of Ed did ask for an extension on that one waiver, and we'll let you know as soon as we find out. And then TJ did just share some information on that food box program. And I know that the USDA Foods team has been getting a lot of questions on that, so it's neat to see the interest in that program. Okay, so next question is, how do I change a waiver as I have a claim site that has been duplicated in my Idaho CMP? And so Melissa, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, so this one, really just give me a call or email Melissa Cook. It's macook@sde.idaho.gov, and my phone number is 208-332-6830, and I can help you with that. Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much, Melissa. Okay, next question. Are there any grants to supplement the transportation costs of our seamless summer program and beyond if the bus services are to be continued? So TJ, do you want to take that one?
Yes, I'd be happy to. And so a really good question, because we've been through, what, I guess 6 weeks now, I've lost track of time to be perfectly honest, of this type of meal service where, you know, students are not congregating anymore, so we're looking at ways to make sure that they're receiving their foods in a non-congregate fashion. But there may be some school districts who are sort of, you know, re-evaluating and looking at the financial impact of their previous methods for service. And meal service options are at the discretion of each school district. Everyone's doing it a little bit differently, so long as they're falling under the allowable waivers out there. But basically, transportation costs can, you know, they're part of the program if the local school district chose to use buses as a method for getting foods out to students. And those costs are allowable, but there are no additional funds associated with, you know, that meal service program. So it really does behoove each district to kind of look at where you're at and determine, you know, how sustainable is our current program. What do we maybe need to shore up a little bit? I do know that some school districts started with lots of bus routes and then they sort of narrowed that down. So unfortunately, there's not a lot of additional funding just because of the impact of COVID right now. So hopefully that answers your question. Thanks, Colleen.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you, TJ. Okay, so the next one is a comment, not a question, but I'm going to read it because I feel like I work with the most amazing people at the state agency. So we so appreciate our state agency. You've done such a great job allowing us to have the tools to do our job. You are amazing. And thank you so much for the comment, because this team has been working super, super hard. So I really appreciate that comment. Okay, next question. With processing plants closing or reducing production, what does it look like for receiving commodities next year, especially meat? So TJ, have you folks heard anything on the USDA Foods arena for that?
Yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know I just shook my number 8 ball and I got out my crystal ball, and I can tell you I got nothing. So unfortunately, we're all in this together, and I know that we continue to learn more. It almost seems like daily. Some of the processing plants are being impacted greatly, but what I do know is staying in close contact with USDA and the American Marketing Services. Those are the folks that procure products on schools' behalf. And essentially, there is a lot of conversation and purchasing and working to ensure that production remains. We have heard nothing about impact for foods in the future, but we never know. You know, we purchase our foods in February. That's the way we've always done things, with due dates in March, and yet, you know, the contracts aren't awarded and actually purchased until sometime during summertime. And depending on what our delivery schedule for those products would be, those purchases may not happen until September, October, November. So there's possibility that some of our products will get canceled, and then we'll have to relook at those things. But it's a big problem. It's not just USDA Foods that's impacted. It is global processing. It's commercial foods. So I've got my ear to the ground and really trying to stay on top of asking good questions when I participate in other associations. So if I hear something, I promise you, you will be the first to know. So thank you for that question.
Okay, thank you, TJ. Okay, so the next question is, where do we send our pictures? So you can send them to any person on our CMP team. Jessica is the one that is putting this wonderful PowerPoint together. So whoever gets those pictures, we will just forward those to Jessica. And thank you for sending those. We hope to see many more. Okay, next question. Will a confirmation email be sent when the fresh fruit vegetable grant applications are received? Normally we get a confirmation email right after we submit the application, but haven't received anything yet. So Jen, you want to take that one?
Sure. Thank you for that question. We do have that process. We are sending those out. It's likely that we're just behind on that right now. So given that grants are due tomorrow, we have been tracking that information. If you have not yet received a confirmation, we will be, we'll definitely be working with sponsors. We understand that this is just such a unique situation, and we're feeling the pains of it as well. But feel free to reach out to me if you haven't received that confirmation email yet, and we will work with you on making sure that both parts are received so that we can process grants this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Okay, at this point, we do not have any more questions. So anyone from the state agency team, is there anything that you can think of that we have not shared that would be helpful to everyone? We put our agenda together ahead of time, so we really try to make sure that we cover things. So, okay, I did just get another question. Our health inspector mentioned USDA may reimburse us for inspections that were paid for and not completed. Is this accurate? So I think it depends on what program is being ran, if this is seamless or summer. Is that correct, team? Oops, I hope I didn't lose anyone. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
Yeah, we'll hear you, Colleen.
Okay.
Hey, this is TJ, and I know Linda's been handling that. So Linda, do you want to approach some of the conversations you've had with the health inspectors?
Well, the only conversation I had with health inspectors is that if school districts have requested it, they don't have, if they're too busy, they don't have to do it, run out and do the health inspection. This is sort of a little nuance. They've already paid for it. They want reimbursement. And I don't know how to answer that one. There's nothing through USDA that would reimburse for a second health inspection that you pay for that you don't get. But that might be a summer food question, so it depends on the program you're on. For Seamless Summer, that is not correct.
Exactly. And I do believe that we asked this question recently of USDA. So let us go back in our notes, and then when we come out with the answer on these questions, we will insert that in there. But I believe the answer was different if you're running Seamless versus if you're running summer food. And the way this is typed in, we can go back and look at the district of the person who put this in and see. But that would make a difference on, you know, what the answer is. So let us get into the answer from USDA and we'll insert that, and that will end up on the governor's website. Okay, next question is, do I use the health inspection sheet in application downloads? I'm going to make the assumption this is a summer food question. Again, it doesn't identify what program they're running, but let's make the assumption it's summer food. So Dominique or Marianne, do you want to take that?
Yes, this is Dominique. Thank you, Colleen. If it is referring to summer food service program, the health inspection sheet in download form is the sheet that you would complete and send to your local health inspection, your health department.
Okay, and if we have misinterpreted the question and you're running Seamless, then just give our office a call and we'll make sure that we get you the accurate information. But if it was for summer food, then hopefully we answered your question right there. Okay, so we do not have any other questions at this point. So as a friendly reminder, this will be archived. Most likely will also be up by the close of business tomorrow, but if not, I would say Monday morning at the very latest. It takes a little bit longer because we put in the closed caption and everything to make it ADA compliant. So if the state agency team doesn't have anything else to add, we'll just give it like 2 more seconds here to see if anybody else has another question. And if not, then we will close the webinar and hopefully get some more pictures from you folks. So it looks like that might be it for now. So again, as we have all shared with you, thank you so much for everything you're doing. And we will continue to keep in touch with you. Know that we are only a phone call or an email away. So thank you for everything. And if we don't talk to you sooner, we will definitely get to communicate with you next Thursday. So thank you, everyone.